Guys. So I am back. I am back in higher demand. How is everybody doing? If you guys notice, I had deleted a lot of the videos that I already had made, and there's a reason behind it. I almost gave up on YouTube altogether. It's very hard. Especially when you think you got all the time in the world like I do. And the more pressure you put on yourself, the more you don't want to do things. Let me just say it in those plain words, because that's exactly how I felt. I put so much pressure on myself to finish that big, gigantic project, and it just felt more discouraging. So I just didn't want to give up on YouTube altogether. So as you can see, I got the pink and blue out. I'm gonna start on my barrette. I need a hair clip. I've needed one like yesterday. Oh, excuse me. So to give you an update on how I am doing health-wise, I'm coping. I am on medication for the rest of my life from the stroke, minor stroke that I had, and I'm so fortunate. Like my stepdad, he suffered a major stroke, and he wasn't allowed to drive for a great length of time. And I get it, because it's been a month now since I've had my stroke, and I'm still having symptoms. So, with further ado, I chose the white because I'm using glass beads, and you really want the glass beads to pop out a lot more. So, these are the gems, and I'm just trying to debate exactly how long I want this. I really don't want it. Okay, so trying to figure out exactly how long I want this. And I decided okay. So this is how long I want it. I don't want it too long. And I still haven't figured out exactly the design that's going to go into this. So right here is the middle part. So that you guys could all see. Yeah, so like I was saying with the health thing, I still exhibit symptoms, and one of them is the dizziness. And I asked my doctor, how long is that going to take before that goes away? And he told me not even a neurosurgeon could tell you that. We have no answers for that at all. So it all depends on me. I'm kind of slacking in the exercise department, and it's mainly due to the amount of rain we have been receiving. I'm trying really hard to keep this in view, and it's not going as planned. I'd like to keep it in view at all times. See, I'm still learning a lot about YouTube. I'm still learning how to be a YouTuber. I have interests of doing vlogs as well. And maybe I should start on, like, create another channel for my life vlogs. And have part of my healing process from the stroke as part of those vlogs, because, like, for me, when it happened to me, I went to YouTube and I started seeking out natural remedies to actually practice as part of my healing process. And I was listening to a lot of stories of other people that had strokes, minor or major, it didn't matter. I was listening to them because they had, each one of them were very different. They all have their own story, very unique. I'm surprised too, with a lot of them very young. Like, they had this one with 3 young girls, and the youngest one out of all of them was 14. And she, I don't think it was her that had it the hardest. I think it was the second one. She was a 16-year-old, and the other one was a 17-year-old. But the 16-year-old, she had permanent brain damage. She had to learn how to talk and eat and walk, and she's still in the process in her recovery, and it's been so many years later. So when I saw a lot of those stories, plus knowing my stepfather's recovery, it wasn't an easy one, but when you meet someone that has so much determination, they make it look like it's so easy to overcome, because that's exactly how he made it look like. Within a couple of months, he was back to driving when he wasn't supposed to be. He looked like he had no symptoms whatsoever of the stroke. So, for me, it's been already a month. Okay, you want to get down, baby girl? There you go. There you go. Lay down beside me. There you go. My precious little girl. I love you so much. My big mama. People laugh at me when they hear my dog's name. Big mama. When I decided to call her that too, it was like so many people were telling me what a bad name why you're naming your dog that. I know my own mother asked me that. What? Big Mama? I don't plan to make this a thick or a wide barrette. I want little petite barrettes. I'm making 2 of them. I want to make another matching one after this. So, to let you know my material, what I have here, these here are 15 O's. I mean, 11 O's, seed beads, or glass beads. And, the gems, I'm not sure exactly what their names are, because I'm still learning proper name protocols for these gems that I have. But this one here is like a mirror gem, so it'll give you the clue. Okay, so now I can take those off. So, sorry if I'm cutting out here. I'm listening to the news as I'm sewing away. You know, when you get into beading, it can be therapeutic in a way because you think so much and you can come up with ideas, and like this is the best time where you could come up with a lot of your ideas and brainstorm by yourself exactly what should be done and stuff. Not only with ideas, but with everyday life transactions that you know, this is the time. I find some people find it differently, like with beading, but most beaders, you would hear from them saying that it was very therapeutic. I loved it, and I wouldn't change anything from anything of the world to this. For me, I find that it just, because I'm such a night owl, I'm kind of debating whether I should hold off putting these on here. Maybe I should. Oh, you know what? Before I go on any further, this should go on first. This is so pretty. The camera doesn't really do it justice. It really doesn't. I don't know if you can see that tint of light blue. So right now, excuse me. This is the hardest part. Yeah, what I was saying earlier about looking at YouTube and I had learned a lot from this one doctor. I forget his name. I got to remember his name. He's very good with guest speakering and stuff like that. I really learned a lot from his videos. He talks about juicing, and he really got me intrigued with about our food and how it's made. And it got me thinking about my grandchildren. I'm like, wow, it's like my grandchildren are going to live in this world with things being modified, and you know, it's just incredible. And he was talking about a Twinkie cake that he had when he was a kid, and he says, you know, those kind of Twinkies back in the day, he says they were more healthier than what we have now. He says, believe it or not, because there's so much stuff that goes into the ingredients. And he had a helpful hint. He talked about when you look at the ingredients on the back of the packaging, he said that if you see anything that has vitamins added, then that's telling you something right there. There's no nutritious value if they have to add vitamins. And it made a lot of sense. And you know what? I've never looked at the ingredients when I do shopping, because the first thing I'm grabbing for is bargains. You know, I'm on social assistance. I'm not gonna lie. It's not easy being under the poverty line. I'm lucky if I have $30 that goes towards food after paying off all my bills. Electricity and cable. I'm not cable, but Wi-Fi, and then my phone service, my rent. So once I'm all done everything, like tomorrow is my payday, and I know for a fact I'm not going to have anything for food. So for someone that's already been on this side of the track, like I used to make good money when I fished. I used to make, when I did lobster fishing, it was anywhere from $1,700 a day down as low as 500 per day. So it all depended how much you fished. And I worked on ships and all that, so it was, working in Alaska was a lot better money we made. And I went from making good money to making none. I was born with scoliosis, so I have always had back issues. But when I was working on the ship, I ended up hurting the upper part of my back. And that's, once I got injured on the job, I was never cleared to go back to work on ship. And even if I tried today, I would definitely not pass. But that that makes you think exactly, you know, in a heartbeat, your life could flip. And I know there's plenty of people out there in this world that knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's not easy. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. This here is Nymo thread. It's called, just in case you're wondering. And these are size 11 needles that I'm using. I always try, that's where my OCD kicks in. If these, when I'm tying them, if they're uneven, I always undo it and redo it because of the fact that they're uneven. That's a weird little thing to have. I wish I had another phone. Still having issues with this phone, by the way. That was another big discouraging aspect of why I deleted a lot of my videos. You know, when I deleted the videos, I was like, oh no, what did I do? Why did I do that? I'll never be able to get those videos back. And it's like, oh well, you know, if you're gonna keep on going on and continuing on with your work, you gotta take the good with the bad, and that was one of the bad moments for me. I think for me it was just because I got so discouraged. It wasn't a good day. I shouldn't have made any rash, harsh decisions that day, but it is what it is. I did, and I deleted those videos that I made of the beginning part of my formal tie, which I think the only discouraging part was that I was running out of the shade of red that I had. And right now I have the money to go get that, and I was going to go get that last week. And it was a good thing that I checked the internet on their website, because this was like Thursday that I was going to go jump on a bus and go to their office, or their main store, which is Acrely in Burnside, Dartmouth here. So went online, and sure enough, they were closed. I'm like, why? I was so in the mood to go and buy another vial of that shade of red. The only days that they're open is Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Man, when my back goes out, it's really bad. One day I had to be, not rushed, but I had to call the ambulance because I couldn't breathe. I wouldn't wish that kind of pain on my worst enemy. I swear. Alright. See, this is what I was afraid of. This is where it's gonna get. Hey. Oh. Okay. I probably went backwards on this. I should have had the dimensions all figured out before cutting away, but this doesn't look too bad, so I'm just gonna continue on powering through because this ain't going on no one's head but mine. Right? Well, it's so early in the morning. No, I haven't gone to sleep at all last night. The rain has really hammered down on us this spring. New Brunswick, they were suffering a lot of flooding. It was really bad there for a while, and they're out of that flood now, but the rain is making things more difficult for people in those areas. I'll never understand why people want to live in those areas. Like, I lived in Kansas. I lived in Missouri for a bit. Not Kansas, but I lived in Missouri for a little bit. And while I was there, like Missouri, Kansas City is in Missouri. So when I told my family that I'm not far from Kansas City, they automatically assumed I was in Kansas. And I had to tell them, no, I'm in Missouri. And had to let them know that Kansas City is not in Missouri. I mean, in Kansas, it's in Missouri. So I had to educate them on that, but my mom was very stressed out because there was a town on the other side of Kansas. I'm not sure if it was Joplin but anyways, there was a whole town that was practically wiped off the face of the earth from a tornado. And my mother was so stressed out. She was very worried that I was in that, and I thank God I wasn't. But yeah, so I'm gonna end right there because of the fact that I had started and I'm already 35 minutes in to making this. And like I said before, I'm having issues with my phone, so I don't want to record too long. It's going to take so long to upload this video, and I anticipate it's going to take me like 2 hours practically. So I'm going to end this here. Now I'm going to come back. I don't know if it's going to be later on today or if it's going to be tomorrow. I don't want to make any promises that I can't keep, but I definitely need a barrette. I need a hair clip, so I'm making my own hair clip. And I'm going to make another one after this to match this. I want my own. And I was thinking of those other gems that I was showing you. These ones, I can also make these the matching earring sets for that. That sounds like a plan, man. Yeah, man. But I don't know how much of this I will have left after finishing off, because I'm gonna need this as well. And I don't, this is all I have in this color, I think. But this here is how much I got done on the bear claw. I doing the third one. Oh, excuse me. And this is how much red beads I have left to finish off this. But I'm planning on taking these to the bead store today and matching this with the color I need. I have other red beads, but they're the wrong shade. The other red beads are darker, and I know for a fact if I put it on here, it's going to be noticeable, especially to another beater. But yeah, I'm still undecided if I'm going to put bear claw prints all the way up. I should, but I'm undecided right now. But once I get the other vial of the shade I need, this is gonna go up fairly quickly, because I'm basically more than halfway done. I just got all this here to do, and then I have to put the back on and sew the edges on. So I'm pretty close to being finished on that. Once I get the right kind of beads, hopefully it'll give me the motivation I need. And there you have it. So yeah, so I'm thinking of doing my own matching earring set to the hair clips. And yeah, so there you have it. Stay tuned. And like I said, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And thank you very much for tuning in. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe. And if there's any questions you want me to answer, don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. And thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you until next time. Have a good day. Bye.